Hi, everyone. Thought we'd have a nice little preview of what we're going to be expecting here. Okay. So tonight, let me turn my music down a little bit. Tonight is going to be another Mahjong night, as it is Mahjong week. I have declared. Mostly because it's in the Mogtomes. So, if you want to come and join, or even just stand around and play the AI, I am on Primal Excalibur. You can come and join if you would like. Queuing up. I'll be doing quick and full ranked for most of the night. But probably later in the night I'll just do quick rank, so I don't, find myself for, I don't know, a while. But let me finally remind myself that I need to set my blue sky thing as well. For those who missed it, the FanFest schedule is now live. So if you are going to be at FanFest or you want to watch the stream, you can check that out as well. They have some interesting panels there that you can totally just go and watch online, or you can go do it in person, do whatever you want. But the keynote is at 10 a.m. PDT, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, whatever it is, on the 24th. So you could totally just, stream in, or if you're there, you can kind of plan what you want to do. Hello, hello, hello. For everyone who's coming in now, we'll be playing some Mahjong on Primal. I'm on Excalibur right now, but you can just be anywhere on Primal. It's fine. I have all these post-it notes all over my desk, with things that I have written on them, and things that I'm working on the getting started with big fishing guide, and I still have some footage I need to record. I just have not had energy to do it. So I have that post-it note, but I was cleaning up my post-it notes the other day, and I was looking through my notes, and for some reason, it's been a lot the past few days. I've also had a busy past couple of days. But for some odd reason, I had a post-it note, and all I had written on it was a bunch of stuff for the aquarium meetup, and then blood okay and then underlined. And I was like, why is blood okay? Oh wait. Now I remember. Now I remember why blood okay was written on a note. Now it all makes sense. Social thing while the last of that stuff shows up. Hi, Mel. Red circle emoji. Fish. Thank you for that streak, Eventide. Post that. Post this. Wait, hold on. I gotta find the post that I am looking for. There it is. Cool. So I really need to clean up all of my notification stuff. Mel, thank you for the resubscription. 9 months. Oh man, has it been that how long have I been an affiliate? Affiliate. Twitch. None of these are what I want. Oh, because I'm in the wrong email. That would be why. Haha. I'm getting all the goober stuff out now. Oh. Oh. I was invited to be a Twitch affiliate on May 7th, so in about a month. It's been 11 months. Alright, are we done with ads? We are done with ads. Thank you everyone for watching those. Let's go every 60 minutes. I appreciate you watching them. If you use an ad block to stop them, I also don't give a crap about that. Anyways, shall we queue up? We are going to be playing some Mahjong here on Primal. If you have any questions about how to play Mahjong, I will do my best to explain them. Please know, though, that I am not a professional. There are people in the chat who will likely be way more experienced than I am, and if you are, please answer some of those questions as well, because I can't. But anyways, we're going to queue up for full and quick ranked matches right now on Primal, and you can join us if you want. I might see how we're doing in about, I don't know, an hour or so. And maybe we'll do the 8 o'clock, my 8 o'clock, or aka the next ocean fishing boat, and just see what happens with that. We'll see how we're doing. How many points do I get if I eat all the tiles before the banker notices? You get to keep all the points that you're able to stuff in your mouth like a chipmunk. As a clear Mahjong expert, my view is always go for the Yakuman. Yeah, style points are way more. Style points are way better than not style points. High school. Anyways, I am queued if anyone else wants to join. I really wish I could, like, come over here, sit with the Lalafell and here. Very sweaty looking here. Can we just point that out? Like, this guy looks like he is oiled up and sweaty. I had some intense Mahjong action there. Why are you moist? But I wish I could sit at the table like I do in the actual game. Anyways, I'm going to start. We were just talking about sweaty men. Don't worry about it. Yeah, as soon as I start this game up, I knew the queue was going to pop. Excuse me. It looks like we have a quick ranked match. Oh, is my portrait ready? Did I fix my portrait? No, I didn't. Whoops. Alright. As always, if you are watching this stream and you are watching me play, I do quietly ask that you mute the stream and go to another tab. I know I got DMV'd. I need to fix that. I think it's my rod glam that breaks it every time. I have to fix the plate. This is workable. I've had worse hands today. I did have a few hands today. I was playing. And I was below 1700 yesterday. I climbed back up to where I was before I fell. And so we're basically starting off with where I was Tuesday afternoon. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna drop this. That 6 could be useful. That 9 is not. With the 6, there's not really much there. Is this the firmament music? It is, right? Yeah, new foundations. This is a way better hand. So we have 1, 2, pair, 4, 5. Okay. So basically we can complete the melds we have. I may, if I get like a 5 or a 7, I may keep this 6 and drop the green. That 8 can go as well. I don't have a Yaku, so I'm gonna have to go Richi at this point. Unless I pick up another green, in which case that 8 is gone and we're just moving on with our life. Is that an automaton that I'm hearing in the background? It is. It sounds like an automaton. Is this Soken's version? I've heard this a ton of times. I've never actually heard the automaton. No, Runner, I know what a clarinet sounds like, and a clarinet does not sound as good as an automaton sometimes. Also, an automaton's a little, or not automaton, a clarinet's a little bit more, fuller sounding. Okay, well, this is a very strange hand now. I think this 1, 2 we can get rid of, because I'm going to need a 3. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then just leaves me with a 4 or 5 weight again. That would be 2, 3, 4, 5. We can keep the north winds. We won't have to give those to Mel. An oboe would be closer, but the oboe doesn't slide into... It doesn't slide into the notes. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a... There's like that little uptone as he slides into the correct pitch because you don't have physical keys to be able to actually measure which one is, you know, what is which. We are also slowly working our way. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are almost at like all pawn range too. If I get another pair, I could just do that. Drop the 2, because the 2 doesn't do me any good. And you're probably building like all simples, probably based around bamboos. Mel is open hand. She's probably building. I don't think she has much, but she's definitely. Yeah, I would say she's building with bamboos for sure. But I don't think she has a huge hand. Yeah.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
Fenrir Wolf, thank you for that follow. I should go and look this up and see if there is an opening song of Rhapsody in Blue, except instead of the opening clarinet, it's the automaton. First off, I love Rhapsody in Blue. It is probably one of my favorite pieces of American musical literature ever created in the past 2 centuries. Partially because one, I like jazz. 2, the opening clarinet is so iconic. But I really want to hear it as an automaton now. Bum, 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 bum. Bless Fantasia 2000. The Fantasia 2000 version of Rhapsody in Blue might possibly be one of the best versions, solely because it has the visuals tied to it. Like, their visual storytelling of three people's lives in New York, with each live being a different motif, that was weaved throughout the entirety of Rhapsody in Blue, was so well done. It was absolutely enjoyable. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like any of these, but we'll get rid of the ones there. Hello, Poignant Tales. Welcome in. For those of you who are just joining, we are on Rimal for the queues tonight. You are welcome to join and queue in. I just ask that if you are queued in with me, please mute the stream and switch to another tab. I don't like stream snipers. But also, if you are good enough to not have to like if you're good enough to play, you probably don't need to stream snipe. Alright, so the one thing I don't want to draw is a north, because I really don't have another suitable pair. My hand is really not optimized right now. Why, hello, Zin. Welcome in. How are we all doing? Actually, come to think of it, I think United uses Rhapsody in Blue in their music, and they actually just did like a new commercial, and they actually had a really good, like, upbeat remix of Rhapsody in Blue that I wish there was a full version of. I'm lazy and staying on Aether. That is perfectly fine. I was on Aether. I was playing on Aether like 2 hours ago, and the queues were pretty good there. That doesn't get me anything, except maybe a safe discard later. I should probably... The fact that I'm waiting on a 7 is really not great. I also have no chance at a Doro right now. But if I do get if null discards anything I can chi, I am open to do so. chi being completing a sequence, and I can only chi off of null because null is to my left. All right, like I said, I don't want to call that. I don't want to call that because I want to keep. I want norths to be my pair. I want people to think too that norths are safe in case I come to a second pair, and I go into a two-sided weight. I can kind of mentally trick people into like, oh yeah, north is still there. No one needs it, and I can be like, aha, you fool! You fell for my trap card.
How will the challenger recover
But I really
from
do
this
just need
wonder?
either a 5 dot or a 7 dot to enter into Tempai. I heard that Aether had a good crossworld link shot. I need to see if Crystal has one for Mahjong. Crap. Mel probably doesn't need the 4. How many other 4s are out there? 2. It could tip my hand, you're absolutely correct. It also helps though that there's only 2 norths left, and I have the 2, so that is my forced pair. That's a chi, that's great. I don't like the fact that I have to discard a 4 now, and I'm on a one-sided weight. Yeah, that's...
Oh, goodness gracious me.
yeah.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
Also, with the weights, like where they're waiting for... Like right there is like, oh, just sitting and waiting. The game will randomly add that in, so it's not reliable. It's not a reliable metric of, you know, if someone needs it, something or not. So why do some pieces turn sideways in the discard area? So this area right here, which I can't show, whenever you call Ricci, you signify that on the tile that you are discarding for Ricci, you turn it sideways and put it into your discard pile up here. Over here, this is not a discard pile. This is like my open hand calls. This is where my calls are, and it points in the direction of the one that's sideways is in the direction of the player that I called from. So I called. I think it was the west wind was going this way. Was the sideways one was on the right because I pulled it from Sivo. When I pulled the other tile, it was pulled from null, so it was facing the other way. Four, 5, so that's a 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so unfortunately, unless we get a 4, I'm probably gonna have to discard this 5. I would like to get a 4. The other option is I can get really risky, open my hand, and assume someone's going to discard a red dragon, which is not guaranteed, but it is a possibility. Let's get that north out there now. Hopple's Dropple. That's the name of this song, and I can't remember where it comes from. That's probably safe. It's definitely Endwalker sounding. Is this the Qatari? Okay, so it is the Qatari quest, so it's Shadowbringers, not Endwalker. Thank you. I knew I had heard it before because I started the Qatari quest. I'm really, that 5, the longer I hold on to it, the more dangerous it gets, but I really don't want to end up with I don't want to, like, I would like to have it. We're going to dip the 5. I know it's a useful tile. I recognize that it's a useful tile, but it's not a tile that I need, and the longer I hold on to it, the more dangerous it gets. Now, that 7 is going to need to be turned into a 3 or a 6. And then I'll just need a 1. Or actually, ideally we get rid of the 7. We end up with that, with a red dragon. Oh, hi, Doc. You need, it is Dora if I was on Domin. I am on traditional Dora. Yeah, see, that 6 wasn't gonna matter. I'm on traditional Dora, so 6 is the Dora, unfortunately. And I've discarded those twice. I guess I probably could have kept the 5 and the 6s and then just dropped the 2 and 3. I am not great with managing that as well. So I'm still trying to get that more in my head. And yeah, I did. I'm more familiar with son of a gun. I'm more familiar with like traditional play. They could, but they could also be in the draw pile. So that like no one could have the red dragons, and they could either just haven't been drawn yet, or they're in the dead wall, which is not really represented in virtual games. But the dead wall is basically under the Dora. When you decide what the Dora are, you can you'll have like a bunch of tiles that are just gonna never be drawn. They act as like the Akadora or Uradora. I forget which one is used, what term is used in 14. Okay, we cannot lose by this small of a margin. Alright, that's 2 sets, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets. Thinking about the Order of the Winds at 4 a.m. might be a little rough. Thinking about the Order of the Dragons is... 1, sounds cool as hell. It's 4 a.m., but I'm thinking about the Order of the Dragon. But it's in alphabetical order. Bunny Nova, thank you for the follow. Drop that. But yeah, those red dragons could have been held by somebody else. It could not have. Who knows? So if we want 3 of a kinds, why doesn't it just auto-save the 3 2s you have in your hand on the open end? So you can only open your hand on a call. So like if I call Chi or Pawn, then that one I can... that one I would call... Sure, discarded that 1 now that I think about it. That's when the hand would be opened and I would put it off to the side. If this right here, that pawn, that 3 of a kind, is part of my closed hand, it stays in my hand, because right now I'm actually not using it as a 3 of a kind. I'm using it as a pair of 2s and a series of 2, 3, 4. So the only time it will ever leave my hand is if I get all 4 of them and I choose to make it a con, which is all 4 of a tile, but it counts as a triplet. I'm not really having a great time with this hand right now. I need to probably push towards all simples. Getting rid of that 4 was a mistake. I can tell you that right now. So that 1 and 2 might be dead unless I get a 3, in which case I won't go for all simples, but if I get another 4 though, I can discard the 1. And then I'm waiting on a 7 here. Wrong 7, but thank you for listening. You'll get it right one day.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
Oh, that was so early too. Man.
Our
I had
challenger
no
is
way of
down,
I don't really have
but
much of a way of
not
predicting that
out.
too, because if you get rid of a 9, like, do you really need a 7? Ah, that's true.
Was the competition simply too much for our challenger? I should hope not.
That's unfortunate. Am I back down to first dan? No, I'm not. Okay, I'm still second dan. That's just how it goes sometimes. We just go right back in. Yeah, I didn't play the best there. I need that moment to kind of I need that one game to kind of just rewind and get myself more squared away. Oh, that. Okay, there they are. I was told about this person. Oh, yes, thank you. I will try to remember that. Oh, well, just hand me a good starting hand, why don't you? Jeez. Wind order for C. Yeah, no, it's clockwise. So or it's counterclockwise, so it's this way. I don't want these. I'm gonna force my way up to the dragons. So, no, it's cardinal directions, so it'd be like north. Oh no, it is backwards. That's weird. If I get more characters. Oh, you know, I could have gone for half flesh. Oh well. That'll be really funny if somebody else calls that. I will immediately discard this white dragon if someone calls it. Okay. I know someone else has it. Likely. What? Alright, fine. Sure. Who's an off-brand fruity snack? See, I still need a pair. I mean, I have a pair, but I need something else. Like, if I can get a second green dragon, that would be great. A second 5 would be not as ideal, but it would be fine. Oh, thanks. Let's get rid of this 5. Mainly because now I can end on an open... I will guarantee myself to end on a two-sided weight.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
One-sided weights. I was talking about this last night.
Our challenger is down, but not
I was talking
out.
about this last night. The one challenging thing about playing the novice players who are just starting out for the first time with Mogtomes is The hints don't care about optimizing your tiles. They push you to one-sided straight, or like not one-sided, closed, like one tile weights for your final calls, and it is very difficult to predict one-sided hands. Or closed weights, whatever the term is. And I have got by one-sided weights so much because you cannot... Suji does not work on one-sided weights. And when you're that early in the game, you don't have a lot of tiles to work with to build up a defense. So that's just pure unluckiness. Take a north. No, because I want to be able to utilize that 6. And if I get a 4, that's a Dora. It's this 9 that I'm not sure of how to work with. Yes, that I will call. Never mind. Pawn. So when you're calling, if this is something that you might not run into a lot or may not know, if 2 players need the same thing.
That should have been our tile. The scoundrel.
Is that all pawn? It is. I'm not in last place anymore. If 2 people call on the same tile, pawn always supersedes chi. So I called chi there, but Matt M called pawn, so they got the 4s. White, this isn't great. White dragon is going to be way more useful than a west. Hey, Ruby. This better be an appropriate response for a... I guess that's fine. No. I could have called Khan, that would have opened my hand, but I would have had to have discarded the 1 and all the dragons. I don't have it, like, if I had a 4, I would consider that. Khan is basically a pawn. So if a pawn is calling 3 of the tiles, this would be a pawn. What a con is 4 tiles, but they act as a set of 3. So you basically go con, I have all 4 tiles, they go off to the side, there's 2 sets. There's a closed pawn, or a concealed pawn, and an open pawn. Or, sorry, concealed con and an open con. And what will happen is another Dora tile is drawn. Twitch did. Hey, internet's wild nowadays. You can learn so much. Now, I really don't need that 9 now that I think about it, but it's better than the 9 bamboo. Back in, it's actually a weird little story about kind of what you were saying. Drew?
How will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
I don't have a save tile. I do have a save tile. It's at 6. Back when I was in high school, I was up one Saturday morning playing an MMO called Guild Wars 1, which at the time was new. Now it's an old retro game. Ooh, that's useful. That's 6. Yeah, I was confident in that 6 being safe because they discarded a 5 and a 9. I was up playing, I was up early one morning. It was probably like 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning because I was an early riser. Playing Guild Wars 1, and I was playing with my guildmates. And we were on Ventrilo back in the day, talking, and I was being explained Dutch art from somebody, one of my guildmates, because he was an art historian. And my dad walks down and he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "Oh, we're just talking about Dutch art." And my dad just looks at me and goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I'm talking to Dutch art with my friend, my guildmate from the Netherlands." And he goes, "Huh. The internet's so weird." This is like back in 2007 at this point. Guild Wars 1. I love Guild Wars 1 so much. Guild Wars 1 was my second ever MMO. It just got like a bunch of updates. There's a new version of it up on Steam called Reforged. Or Guild Wars Reforged. Highly recommended if you're into like old MMOs. Guild Wars, mwah, chef kiss. Okay, if I get an 8, I go into Tempai. If I discard that 8, I'm in Tempai. Is that 8 safe? Probably, yeah. Cool. I need a 7. Never mind.
A scoundrel.
Okay, we broke Hamba at least. But yeah, Guild Wars 1. Love it so much. It was... So the fun fact about Guild Wars, if you know anything about Guild Wars, you probably know it about Guild Wars 2. Even this applies to Guild Wars 2 as well, but less so than Guild Wars 1. Back in the day, Guild Wars is this MMO. You have 8 skills on your bar. You can pick and choose what skills you added. I don't think I want this too. You can pick and choose what skills you have. You can have like classes in some classes. There was expansions, but not really. It was really cool. Like what they did was really neat. Also very groundbreaking in server infrastructure. Weirdly enough, because the downtime on Guild Wars 1 for like 10 years was a day. Or something. It was like less than 3 days or something. It was some ridiculous number for like 10 years of existing. And so Guild Wars 1, a lot of people were like, oh, it's an MMO. It has these dungeons. It has like, over-the-shoulder view. It has tab targeting, like all the old MMOs did. Much like how, like Final Fantasy XIV has. But it wasn't meant to compete with World of Warcraft. It was actually competing with Diablo and Diablo 2. It's actually a fantasy loot shooter, or a fantasy loot game. And so, like, you would run dungeons, and they would drop weapons that have randomized combinations of skills, required level skills, and damages, and like rarities and stuff. So it was very much a looter. And it was very fun. Yeah, if highly recommend, that's a good point. Recommend Guild Wars 1 to anybody who likes Blue Mage. Because you also had to go and capture your skills. It wasn't even a hack and slash looter. Like, that was the thing. Like, it was It was very much like, what if Final Fantasy XIV was a looter? Was it a hack and slash? I thought it was... Oh, no, you are right. My bad. You are correct. I was thinking of something else. But yeah, even in like Guild Wars 1, I had Legendary Skill Hunter, which I think only Ravenous so far has noted that they know anything about Guild Wars 1. I had Legendary Skill Hunter. That was my first like Supermax title. Because I loved going for the elite skills and trying to catch them all. Like, literally, you had... In order to learn elite skills in Guild Wars 1... Look at that. I could have had a con of 2s. I'm going to get rid of this red dragon. Someone's probably going to claim it. No. That's fine. I'm turning it over, basically, though, so that I have a safe discard. Because I know that no one really is going to need that white dragon unless it's a one-sided weight. I don't have... I have to call Ricci here because I don't have it.
But will it pay off?
So, if you wanted to get elite skills, you had to go kill bosses, sometimes in hard mode, and then use a skill to actually capture the skill from the boss. Let's see, oh, Ferdy, are you interested in the Beastmaster class? I am so excited for Beastmaster. I am way more excited for Beastmaster than I was Blue Mage. We're also waiting for a 5 dot or an 8 dot, just by the way, of which there are 3 8 dots unaccounted for, and 4 dots unaccounted, or 4 5 dots unaccounted, or no. 3 5 dots unaccounted for, so there's 6 possible tiles. But yeah, I'm like really genuinely super excited for Beastmaster from what they had shown, because 1, the armor looks cool as hell. 2, I really just kind of like doing those things. And 3, it's also solo content, which I love solo content because I have a very weird schedule sometimes when I can play. And it's not always conducive to being able to play with my friends. Damn, the one time we had a good hand, we just go into Tempai and get a draw. That's fine. We walk away with, you know, our refund, and we're back to where we started. I only played very casually. It was my first MMO, but recently hearing about it, all the neat loot farms. Dude, the farms are so wild. I went back recently to go and look at, just to play. And they have figured out, I don't know, this is weird, because if half the things that we can do now in Guild Wars 1, we had figured out, like, decades ago, it would have been a completely different experience. There are solo farms for the elite dungeons now, where you just need to bring your heroes. You don't need players for it. Like Urgaz Warren has a solo farm. The Deep has a hero farm. There's AFK farms for like Glint's Challenge, which I don't think no one knows what I'm talking about at this point, but it's all very cool. It was very much like skipping through time. It was, I don't know, it's a weird experience that I'm not sure how to properly explain, but it's like almost like coming back, and the civilization that you had last seen using just like, you know, was in the Bronze Age is now like in future tech. People have figured out how to farm what was once exclusive to one class. There are now like any class can do it. Genuinely so wild. I would love to do a Guild Wars 1 stream one day. Just for like a little bit, just, you know, as like a little treat to myself, because it's just a ton of fun to show off. And it's an old game too. all my characters are like 20 years old. Alright, so we have a bunch of pairs here. Yes, they did be. They did re-release it as Guild Wars Reforged. But I've wanted to do a Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 stream. I may turn it into like a week. It won't be anytime soon because the next couple of weeks I think are going to be dedicated to 14. But then on the 18th we have a charity event that I'm hosting where we'll be playing indie games, then FanFest, and 7.5. They so just yesterday they were like, for April Fools was yesterday, right? They put out patch notes on April Fools saying, hey, we've added a new dungeon to pre-searing Ascalon, and you can unlock a hero, Devona, in pre-searing, which is huge for pre-searing, which is the tutorial for the game. The tutorial for Guild Wars 1 was wild because it itself was its own game. Imagine, what's the best way to describe it? Imagine Limsa Lament, like, not Limsa Lamentsa, imagine Vilbrand, like the island that Lenosha is on. Imagine that whole island was the tutorial for Final Fantasy XIV. But on that island, you could get to max level. Like, that's kind of the equivalent of what it was. It was the tutorial area that people figured out how to get to max level with, despite max level in Guild Wars 1 is level 20. The highest level creature is level 8, which means the highest amount of it, the latest you can get experience is level 13.
That should have been our tile, the scoundrel.
Anyways, that's the end of the game, and we will end up in second. And Eventide will be in last.
This was Metum, reporting live from the
Finally got me
Mahjong
into one
table.
was wanting to make a
Thank you,
ritualist and a dervish coming.
Good night.
I am a see, everyone's got me monologuing here about Guild Wars 1. Ritualist was my main. I mained Ritualist the entire time I played. Gonna be, what's the problem here? Ears and neck. GG. Oh wait, Frogger, was that you? Were you mad? Are you Mad Meme? The one that Jazzy's been telling me about? Oh, I figured, like, I was looking at that, I was like, I've seen that bunny before. Why is my portrait broken here? The following code is inconsistent with registered gear sets and glamour plates. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll just switch to the one that I know works. No, wait. Oh, yeah, it needs to work. It could be the accessory, but I haven't changed it yet, so I'll have to go back and fix that. But yeah, we'll just use the old one. Alright, we are going to queue up again. The only... It's not like anything was nerfed, it's all just really clever utilization of what was always there. Yeah! Because I was recently rebuilding my team. Because what you could do in... Think of duty support or the trust system from Final Fantasy XIV. But imagine that you can just take that party of 8 anywhere. Not just in dungeons. That's what the hero system Guild Wars 1 was like. And it's not limited to the it's not limited to, you know, a preset set of skills. Like Ishtola, if you had Ishtola, you could only use the like preset skills that Ishtola has. You could customize which skills. So if we pretended that, say, Ishtola was in 14 terms, it'd be like Black Mage. Okay, I could tell her which skills to use. That's how the hero system worked. So you could have combinations of skills and like synergize with each other, and it's the wildest thing. Like that's the equivalent of it. Guild Wars 1 was is so deep. It actually was so deep of a skill system. See, now I just want to show you, but I said we're doing Mahjong, so we'll do Mahjong. Maybe we'll do like a quick little like treat of a Guild Wars 1 thing at the end of the stream. But the skill system in Guild Wars 1 was so deep at one point that the developers actually came out and said, we can't balance this. Because there was hundreds of skills you could select to and pick which one. Like you could have all these different combinations because you could have your primary class and then your secondary class, and you could use skills from both the classes and the attributes from both the classes except the primary attribute, which is a whole other thing. Same thing with your heroes, and so you could set up with 2 heroes, or with just 2 players, or a player and a hero. You could set up a skill combination with, let me count, 1, 2, 3 skills. All you needed. It was called Barrage, which was for Ranger, which made you shoot, I think, 6 arrows at once. You would be then a subclass of Ritualist, which gave you a weapon spell called Splinter Weapon, which made you do, whenever you hit somebody with physical damage, it would do damage to everybody around that person. And then you would use a skill on your hero, or on yourself even, called Edge of Extinction, where, and this is weird, where if a species died, all the other species took damage as well. So one hero with 3 skills could wipe entire mobs in hard mode. With 3 skills. It was incredibly, incredibly, incredibly deep. You do not see that level of you don't see that level of skill system really anymore in any games. Okay, log mode. It's not a log. It's a green background. I am a big fish. That is what the background is. Anyways, I've had a massive tangent now on Guild Wars 1. How did that start again? Oh, right, yeah. Ritualist and Dervish, or I don't have a Dervish yet. I want to finally get time to be able to make a Dervish. But I don't have any character slots to do so, and I don't want to delete any of my like decade-old ones. GMC, thank you for the follow. That was right. That's right. That was the segue into all this. We have 3 pairs. 1, 2. Okay, so we're gonna have to break something, and ideally we break this up. I want to get rid of all these dots. I want to be able to keep all of these so we can have a half flush. All right, why are you freezing on me? Because I'm trusting my computer again with Water Fox. And we're trying Water Fox again, and I'm hoping we don't learn what it looks like when Final Fantasy XIV runs out of RAM again. Yeah, you're right. The only thing that does come close to the old Guild Wars 1 system would probably be Path of Exile. That's a good point. But to your point, it's the Path of Exile builds are very, you have to follow it and you're locked into it, whereas Guild Wars 1, you could just swap them out every minute if you wanted, as long as you weren't in a zone or in combat. Guild Wars 1, genuinely one of the best MMOs ever made. Alright, so we are going to go for a half flush. Ideally, we get a white and green dragon. Yeah, okay. I had to listen to this. Man, we're getting like the fun music tonight. This is, I think, the... Is this the... I think this is the, this is Yoshi P singing this. Yes, the vocalist in the game is Naoki Yoshida. Yeah, this is Byakuya. Do we just want to go for that? I don't think the 7 is safe. Okay, I'm glad I didn't do that. I think the 6 should be safe. Okay, so now we just need a 7 or a green dragon, and we really want a green dragon. Because that'll be an extra Han worth of points. So that'd be green plus yellow plus half flush plus east, which would probably put me around 8,000 points. Assuming I don't deal into somebody here. I got into the haze of Guild Wars 1. I didn't realize everyone opened their hand. I was so tunnel visioned. Are there even any 7s left? Okay, good. There's only one west wind left. There's no greens because we haven't had to call that yet. And there's 2 7s, I think, still available? Yes. Yeah, this is a very grabby handy gramby. This is very much a let's go open. Everyone's opened. That is not the 7 that I want. That should be a safe discard because you've already used it. Yeah. Because there's only... Oh wait, that was the last one. Still dangerous, but... And no one's discarded a green dragon yet. We've already discarded 4s. This guy is throwing literally every tile out. They are to... I think Zech is...
It was too painful.
That would have been such a good hand. I think Zech was totally building something.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
Oh, Mel, I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, we got a 5-6-7, we got a 4-6-6, 4-5, that's great. Oh, that's good. And 2 north. Okay, we have another 6 round, that's good. So we have a 5-6-7 or a 5-6-6-7. That 8's probably going to get nicked, and that 9 will probably go, and that 4. So that guy, and that guy will probably all go. I should totally have set up my thing that lets me draw on tablet, and like I can write down everything. It's a little sketchy to use, literally. That 8 is probably my weakest skill, or my weakest tile right now. Probably that 9 as well could probably go. No. If anyone has not had a chance to get to Distant Worlds, highly recommend it. Because hearing some of these songs live in concert's really nice. I also just realized these are all novices. I could probably get rid of that 9 for something else. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's a pair. It's this right here, because I'm waiting on a 5, which is not great. I don't think I need this. Hold on. Yes, I do. Ah, ooh. If I had kept that 4, I could have done 4-5-6, 4-5-6, and have a mixed triple try. There was a chance for that. Oh well.
Tile, the scoundrel.
Full flush. Goodbye, Zesh. I am perfectly content with watching the novices tear each other apart. As long as it's not me. Good first draw. Because it's a 2s, and then we have a 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, a 1, 2. Basically, I'm going to get rid of all the honors. We could go for Pinfu. Pinfu wouldn't be that bad. I just have to end on a two-sided weight, or an open weight. No, now if I get rid of the 1, I go into Tanya, which is all simples. That means I don't have 1s or 9s of any suit, and I don't have any honor tiles like winds or dragons. Tonight we're on Primal. I heard there was some fun games going on Primal, so I decided to go to Primal.
How will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
Now, I could pawn that? No, that would totally screw me up. If it was Khan, I would probably consider it, but... Alright, so the Dora is 4, which makes it 5 shoots. I think a 3 would be good, another 2. Yeah, that's what I want right there. I'll take the 2, discard the 1. I'm in Tanya now. So I have 2, 1... I have a pair of 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm all set on my setup. I just need to... I need to get the tiles for it. And that is not the tile that I need. Please don't take a 7. Thank you. As I continue to say, playing with novices is very scary because of the one-sided weights. Those are like my one weakness. I cannot read them. The 8 is also then probably safe. If the 6 wasn't. Congratulations, Mel, on ranking up twice. I am down 32 points. 5, 6, 7. Yes. And then discard you. And we're waiting on a 3 dot or a 6 dot, and we are in Tempai, which means my hand is ready. That means when my hand is ready, that means that I am I am 1 tile away from a complete hand. And in this case, a 6, of which there are still 2 available, or a 3, of which there are 4 available. I don't want to... That's terrible. That's terrifying to discard. Yeah, there's 2 6s and at least 3 3s unaccounted for. These are all scary. You could I could turn on tile markers too, and it would be like, hey, warn. See, another one-sided weight. I cannot predict one-sided weights. There's no...
Our challenger is down, but not out.
There's nothing that I can do to really be like, oh yeah, this is how you protect against a one-sided weight. They are the riskiest thing to reachy because you need one tile, or like you just need one type of tile, and it could be like only 2 existing. And they are near impossible to read for me. I don't know if there's a trick for reading one-sided weights outside of just predicting a hand, but that's, in my skill level right now, very impossible. Mesmerin, thank you for the follow. But we are in 3rd now, which means we will lose about 6 or 7 points. We should stay above 1700, if not just below it. If we stay in 3rd. Ideally, we don't. Ideally, we can get a Ron off Bosco here and call it a day, but that is not looking very likely. This is a very rough hand for me to start with. I don't have much to work with, and what I do have to work with is not great. I mean, there's like a half outside. Okay, if I went with a half outside hand, that could work. That 5 is going to be really useful. Let's get rid of that. Alright, this is a little bit easier to work with. Because I have a lot of holes in this, which means I have a lot of tiles that can fill those holes. Drop you. That 6 might end up being...
How will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
Alright, main goal is now is just to survive. Don't deal into Bosco. First row reachies are always terrifying because I don't have a lot to work with. See if the tile markers do you have? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, if you are playing, by the way, if you're just starting to learn Reachy Mahjong or Domin Mahjong, please turn on hints and dangerous tile markers. I don't turn them on because they are distracting for me right now because I've learned not to have to need them. That will not do me any good. You've discarded a 2. 1 was already discarded. I don't have anything else that's safe to discard, so we discard the 1. That east is terrifying in that it could be dangerous. I found the hints are pretty good. Like, if you're just starting out, play with hints on. They can get you pretty far. But it's, it doesn't always work, especially if you don't follow it. It just usually tries to get you to just a valid Yaku. And sometimes there's a lot, and it will change halfway through. Alright, that's a safe discard because you just discarded. So, like, yeah, it'll be like, oh, you're going to go for all simples. And then you pick up, like, a second, like, it tells you to discard all these other things, but then you pick up a dragon that you had discarded yet, and then it's like, oh, never mind, we're going to go for the dragons. North has already been discarded, so that should be safe. No, I don't think there is. And that's what's been getting me this entire week is single weights.
in our pile. The scoundrel.
It's okay. It's okay. Came in third. I would love to know if there's a reliable way to predict single weights. I'm sure there's like someone's tried figuring it out like mathematically, but I don't know if it's humanly possible. All right, we got another round. Got a pair of south. This is a much better hand than our last one to start with, because we actually have, you know, a pair of souths. That's good. This 5, 7, 8, 9's good. That 2 will go. 7, 8 will go. Pair west wind I will take. Now, I'm not going to call pawn on those because it doesn't give me a Yaku. It's good timing music. Good. Pair of 5s, even better. We'll drop the red dragon. Someone can claim that. Do I just want to start collecting wins? I guess. Get rid of the 1. Because, I mean, Northwind is at least a benefit to me. If we end up in 7 pairs, I can try and finagle my way to a wind discard. Maybe that's just the goal, is going for all simples. Or 7 pairs. Outside of that Northwind, we have a pretty good hand now. Because we have a 5, 6. That 8 will become a 7 or a 4. So this 8's not long for this hand. We'll have a 5, 7, 8, 9. These are all things I won't discard, but are all good. This Northwind is a safe discard, so I can get rid of that later. I don't think I need that 6, if I'm honest. I think taking it right now is just, if I hold on to it, it's going to become more dangerous down the road. Because somebody is more likely to need it. But if someone needs it right now, I swear I will throw a chair. I won't actually do that. I don't do that. So they're going for all pawn. Another Northwind? I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Because now if we get a third... If the last Northwind gets discarded, I can pawn that. What is... You know what? Sure. Fine. We'll go wild. Let's just go with the winds all of a sudden. I guess I'm making a half flush. Oh, that's scary. Double 3 Dora, or double 4 shoot Dora. Fortunately, those are 6s, not 4s. If only we had a 4. Okay, cool. This 5, though, I need to get rid of this 5 for something else. I should probably have actually just swapped out that 5 with the 8. I don't think he needs a 5. Yeah. I don't think he needed a 5, so I feel comfortable in discarding that. You didn't need it, and I'm pretty confident you didn't need it either. This is such a weird match. 3 is a safe discard, this 3 is not, but I'm going to try and get rid of it now, so that the longer I hold on to a dangerous tile, the more dangerous it becomes. And what I'm looking for is a south wind, of which I think... Half flush, yes, that's a Yaku. We're good. Okay, we just need that last north wind or a south wind to be discarded, and we win. That's fine. Any tile I don't have to discard is a tile that I don't have a chance of losing to. Any way the wind blows, as long as it's south or north, would be great. This one is very dangerous, but Suji rules say that probably it should be safe, but it's hard to tell. Someone discard that south and that north. There's one more north. I know no one needs it.
That could have been our tile.
Then again, someone could use it. Hey, this might bump. Never mind. Definitely never mind. Jesus Christ. Well, we're still in third. Let's just leave it at that. Oh, and we're in a full ranked match. Oh boy. Nexus, you just missed the weirdest hand I've had this whole round. Or this whole game. Yeah, it was a half flush with 3 wins. Oh, and we're in a full, so I have to stick around for a little while. Someone's now asking how long do these last. Also, after asking, it's just playing by itself for me all of a sudden, because they're a novice. They don't know what's going on. I should probably tweet this out and just be like, hey, if you want to get your Mahjong done quick, do not go into a full match. Now, of course, we get the east wind pair on the draw when south is the primary table wind. It's usually how it works for me. Oh, how you doing, Nexus? Hope the car is okay or going to be okay. I asked that like it's a pet. Count. Thank you for the follow. I'm not going to say the other half of that, but thank you. At 2 we can get rid of this white dragon. That'll be fine. Well, that's what we're doing. Except for that, like, 15-minute tangent when we were just talking about Guild Wars 1 for a while. Oh! I was just going into type, not pawn. Shoot! Half flush it is. My friend a minute. Oh. Well, that's good, I guess. Of course. Okay, cool. I was literally like clicking on my other monitor, and as I was clicking in, the pawn came up. I didn't mean to call pawn on that. But that's fine because we have a pretty good setup for a half flush, which is a Yaku, so I don't feel too bad about that.
Scoundrel.
Okay. So South 3 is going to be our big turning point because we'll be dealer. Hopefully we get some good tiles or good tile draws where we can just open up and go ham. I'm feeling like maybe we can go for a Tanya here. 7-8. I mean, this 9's a little dangerous. This 7-8 could be a little dangerous at that, so we don't have to. These 3 tiles here on the right are probably dead to me. Unless we get something to go with them. If not, this 4 is also not long for this world. There's a lot of, like, semi-floating tiles. Good con call. other Guild Wars 1 tangent. The music is really freaking good. The soundtrack for Guild Wars 1 is, like, good enough that I would go look it up right now and just let it play. It's genuinely very good. It is composed by Jeremy Soule, who is the same guy who does the, he did Skyrim. Did he do Oblivion as well? Who did Oblivion? Yeah, Jeremy Soule again. So he's like the guy who does all of Skyrim. He did Guild Wars 1 OST. He did the Guild Wars 2 base game OST. All Pawn Enjoyer? Yes. Maybe I'll listen to that tonight as my calm down music for the night. Is Guild Wars 1 The Prophecies? Yeah, I got by man. The Prophecies music is very good. Eye of the North's Ballad of Song and Snow, is that what it is? I'm assuming if I play it right now, I'm going to get copyright striked. So I'm not going to. Could go for 7 pairs. Ideally, we don't land on a 5. But then again, we're playing against novices, so maybe the 5 is what we want. How many successful fishing endeavors do I have in my fish guide? I can tell you when I get out, but I'm close to 100,000. I don't think I can access it in here, no. But I'll try and remember to get out. Try and get it when I get out. I'm still in Living World Season 4 of Guild Wars 2 on End of Dragons, yeah. Try and remind me when I get out, because I will be likely to forget.
Oh, goodness gracious
See?
me.
Oh, that was a 2-sided. Wait, okay.
Our challenger
That could
is
be
down,
worse.
but not out.
There wasn't much for me to predict that 6 was going to be dangerous, because I had that 8 there. And a 1. Like, I didn't have a lot to work with for that. I definitely took the 5 over that 1. But anyways, we're a dealer now, so if we can open our hand, if we can start finding some proper Yaku here, we can go and throw wide the Hamba. But I'm not feeling so confident with that right now. Haven't won a lot of hands this game. This West can go next. Definitely can go next. Take the 4-5. Yeah, well, the issue is I have to get the man gun, the Mon gun. But Nexus, you keep missing all of my rants. Well, not really rants. My things of the issue with playing against novices is they are Chaos Gremlins, and they all have one-sided weights, which cannot predict. Like, I just don't know how to handle or even how to read for one-sided weights. So, 1, 2, 3. I'll take a 3rd place. It would kind of suck. I would take it, but it would suck. Yeah, I was thinking about getting rid of the 1s, but the 7-8 with the 9 chance is a little rough. I'm not sure I'm convinced on that one yet. Like, I would go for if I got a 6, I would go for a 3-sided weight over Tanyo at this point. Because if I can just win the hand, I can just go again. That's true. Let's go with that. We'll give it a shot. If not, I'll just blame you. No, I won't. I will totally take responsibility for my own actions here. But you are right that opening the hand, as long as I don't open into a as long as I don't open that 7-8 with a 9, we're fine. And there's no more 9s left. Wait, no, I'm like physically incapable of getting Tanya with this configure, or it's impossible for me to not get it right now. Drop you. That's okay. The point is I just have to get there before all their hints get them to theirs. That 3 would have been nice on Z. I would have called that open really quick. Yes, I will do that. And then we discard the 4 dot because... Oh, I need the 8. Whoops. That's fine. That's fine. That's terrifying, but they don't need it. And there was only one other one left. Okay. Yeah, being in Furiton here kind of sucks. If I call pawn... Yeah. And then probably discard the 6. Yes. And then wait for a 7. Because I've discarded the 1 and the 4. Not that they're going to know anything about Suji, but it makes it look like I don't need a 7. Red Dragon safe. Okay. So we're in Tenpai at least. I wouldn't be surprised if Z is close. I think Bosco is probably in it. I don't even know if you have a Yaku. That's the last white dragon. That's funny. Yeah. Yep. Terrifying. Yes, I will take a con. That gives us a few more Dora. You're right. Yes, 2 and a 5. Thank you. I had missed that. I don't think I'm going to win this now because there's way too many other open hands right now. And I feel like I'm just skirting. This is the only West that hasn't been called yet. And the only person who can use it is Mr. G, and I don't think he needs it. Come on, someone discard a 2. Not that. This is a very busy looking board.
Horror! It was too painful
See,
to watch.
more one-side weights.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
This is what this whole week has been like playing against novices. Is you're like, I have a really good hand setup, and I felt like I played amazingly, and you just lose to a one-sided weight on like a 5. It's been really good practice for getting familiar with those pivots, and I thank you for that help on that one. Get rid of that one. It's something. But I think the one dot can get rid of, we can get rid of that soon. That 4 by itself probably can go, but I don't like waiting on that 7, so maybe I'll get rid of the 9 instead. That gives me a couple pair options here. A 3 and that 4 for a 2-3-4 would be nice, because that could be, a 2 could also act as a pair. It's traditional, so it's red dragons. I could also just go for Tanyo now. I'll pass on that and be rewarded. It's annoying that we aren't dealer anymore, so I can't Hamba. So this is going to be our last hand. Guaranteed. Because even if Bosco wins, it's the end of the match. Tanyo Ricci. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, drop the 7. Because we have a 6, 7, 8. We have a 5, 6, 6. That 8's got to go at some point. That 4's going to go at some point. I'm going to probably what will end up happening, and I'm hoping it doesn't, is I end up with that 7. Oh, sorry. No, actually, no. Getting a 7 would be great, because then I could drop the 4, and then I would have a 4, 6, a 4, 7 weight. And there are 3 4s and 4 7s still available. Or I just open the hand and do it now. No, I can't, because I wouldn't have a pair. I'm hoping someone cons, and it's like 2 is now Dora. 1, 2, 3. I drop the 8. I know that puts me at 3 pair, which has bad, which is bad. I know I'm at 3 pair, which is bad economy, but that gives me way more options on that 5, 6. I have a little bit more room to grow here. Especially because if like I get another 2, then I have a triplet of 2, a 2, 3, 4, a 7, a 5, 6 weight. The pawn would be on a 2, 7, which isn't bad, but we can wait for Ricci. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 13,000 points to pull out of Ricci. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Because I would have to get at least a Mangan off of a Ron from Zech. Right now, they are discarding a 4, which I know we need, and they don't have a 7, but they did discard a 6 and an 8 dot, which we will need. They've also discarded a 7, but there's no more 7s left, so this has to be my pair. Which means I'm going to have to wait on a 2. This is slipping away from me a little bit. It's still winnable. Like, I definitely feel like it's winnable. But we're kind of losing it a little bit. Yeah, 6.5k Ron would work. No. Goodbye.
Oh, goodness
We got Ron off him. I should have just called it, but I would have discarded anyways.
Our challenger is down.
That's
but
unfortunate.
not out.
Again, with the, I think, another one-sided weight.
This was Metum. reporting live from the Mahjong table.
No, he had 9s
Thank you,
too.
and good night.
That's unfortunate. That was a log match, though. And sometimes that's just how Mahjong goes. I wasn't yesterday. My rating has been up and down like 100 plus over the past 48 hours. Alright, so... Yes, I am Ravenous. You were asking how many endeavors I have. That is under records. Oh, I do have over 100,000. Cool. Yeah, so I have over 100,000. Fun fact about fishing. If you didn't know, it actually tracks the largest fish you've caught in each biome, and then in for spearfishing, it just tracks it for each region. So if you want some fun things to do for fishing and you want to target fish, specific stuff, Jaws of the Undeath, this is not the largest. Listercanthus is for lakes. Yeah, I would have gotten that yesterday, I think. That's a max size Shonisaurus. That's not a max size yet. Problematicus, max size Basking. Definitely not a max size Sidereal Whale. I'm not gonna chase that. But yeah. So fun fact, and I have successfully caught over 100,000 fish. Anyways, let's head back on in. We missed the ocean fishing boat, so. So I drop below 1600, yeah. Thank you, Nexus. Have a good dinner. Thank you for your help. Mel, if you are listening, you can now queue. Jazz, who is sometimes in here, they've been hovering around 2000. They got to 1991 and then went on a lost streak, and they're down to like 1920 or something like that at this point. Yeah, I hit my high earlier today, I think. Of 1747. That was like 12 matches ago. Man, was it really? Did I really play? When I last looked at this, I was at 85 matches. We probably are going to hit 100 tonight. So what am I on? Hide, chat log on, tile names show, good. Yeah, Dora indicators traditional. By default, it's Dome and Mahjong, so the Dome and Mahjong version shows you what tile is the Dora. The traditional one shows you the one below, which is the correct, which is how you would play it in game. And you can also switch the tiles, so if you're used to traditional tiles, I cannot read these. I use the Dome and ones. Otherwise, everything else is traditional setup. That was Ravenous. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Twitch. Oh, it's Parsnip again. See you soon. Hello, hello, everybody. Wait, why am I saying that? They can't hear me. going crazy, guys. Alright, we got a lot of pairs. We can probably drop the dots, or the shoots. We'll keep the dots, drop the 4, drop the 9. Never mind, that 1 is going to stay. We could be risky and just open, but I don't need to be that aggressive right yet. Okay. This I'll probably get rid of, because I don't want to deal with an edge weight. If I get a 5, I'll drop the 8. Don't need the north. Definitely pawn. Yes, because I have more options with these. Oh. Sure. So basically what I think I'm just going to go for now, because I have East Wind, that's my Dora. If I could get a 4, a 6, or an 8, I am in a pretty good place to go for all pawn, which would be at least 2 Han. That'd be probably 3,000, 4,000 points minimum. The Dora is south. No, it's north, which I don't have. Alright, now that we're actually playing with people who have played, I have to... we shouldn't run into the gremlin mode too much. But also means we have to be way more careful. I know discarding a 5 is not great. We can call that, that's great. We'll discard you. Now, right now, if I get a 7, like a 7, then I have... I'm in Tempai, basically, is the good news. I just need a 7 to get in. That version of that song was... Let me go back to it for a second, I'll tell you. It was the piano version by Keiko on the Final Fantasy Journeys album. That's a really good album, too, if you have a chance to pick it up. Do we have any more from that?
That should have been our tile, the scoundrel.
Alright, for those who want to learn Mahjong, discarding a 5 is very, very risky. I don't recommend it. If you get a 5 and it is still like, and it's past the first row of discards, congrats, you now are going to be building with a 5. Where's that 7? I don't think we need the 4s. My rating keeps fluctuating, and I don't mind that. I think the highest I want to get, for sure, is... You know what, screw it, we're going to be aggressive this game. Is... I want to get up to 1,800, because that's where the... what's the thing? Adventurer plate stuff is. I want to break 1,800, After that, I'm kind of like meh on the rest of it. If I can get up to 2,000, that would be great. I would love that so much, but I don't need to. I'm going to ride. I'm going to really be hoping for a red dragon discard. Or we go all pawn. That's the other thing too, is that if I get like a 1, 3, or a 6, we're pretty safe. That is great to see. Because I don't have a Yaku right now. There's my red dragon, sweet. And then the 1 is going to be more likely discarded than the 3. So that's fine. So basically we're looking for a 1 right now. And unfortunately, that is the only tile that we need. Now there's still 3 1s out there, so it could be a lot. But I'm in a one-sided weight, which is, like I've been saying, very hard to predict. But because it's so early, I feel a little bit more confident with it. But I know that everyone's looking at my hand. They probably know exactly what I'm going for, but they don't know which tiles yet. The only thing that they know is that I don't need any of these tiles. And none of the tiles that anyone has called. Now, if you forget that, then
the hand is decided. Letting them think they stand a chance. I like it.
Yeah. The, hey, let's be smart about this one is the correct play to play, but the wrong way to win. Now, the only reason I went that aggressive was because I opened with 2 red dragons, so I knew that I was going to be able to get, that. But here I don't. I'm going to keep the east wind because if I get a second, then I can go be crazy. And I'm going to hold on to that east wind for a while, even if I have to hold it till the end. 7. That 2 is probably not long for this hand anyways, as well. That'll probably be discarded next, depending on what I get. Ow. Except that I'm not keeping. We could also go for all simples. If I really wanted to be super aggressive, I get rid of the 1s. At this point, if I plan to get rid of that east sometime soon, and I think I'm going to do that. Because as soon as I get rid of that other 1, I can start calling pawn and chi again.
How will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
Ooh, that's dangerous. The early reaches are always scary because you don't have a lot to work on. Typically what you have to follow is whatever they have discarded. So I know this white dragon is safe because they've discarded a white dragon. They cannot call Ron on me if I discard it and they have discarded it previously. Now that 4 is also a dangerous click, but the fact that they got rid of a 3 and a 7 makes me not think they need it. So I will also get rid of that. But this also makes the east wind discard now very, very dangerous. They are west, and they've already discarded a west. Sorry, they're north, and they already discarded a west, so that's fine.
Oh, the horror! It was too painful to
And we
watch.
can't do anything about sumo, but that just means Parsnip is down another 1,000 points.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
They had no Ricci. They just called They just went for sumo. That's wild. And very, very bold. We dropped the 1. Probably this west will be next to go. The 7... Depends on what I get. If I get like a 5 or a 6, it'll stay. But if I don't, it's going to go. That will go. But it'll be the last to go, probably. Because right now we're also really set up for a good all simples hand again. We have 8 pair, or we have the 8 shoot pair. We have a 3 shoot pair. Yeah, because they didn't call Ricci. If they had called Ricci, they would have gotten it. Nope, I don't want that. We'll get rid of the dragon. Get rid of the 1, so because we're gonna go for Tanya, all simples. Sorry, I'm thinking here about what I need to do next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. East Wind is safe to discard. We don't have anyone discarding white dragons yet, so that's going to be a risky discard, but we have to get rid of it at some point. We have a lot of pairs too, so that 8 here, I probably want to get rid of, unless I get like a 2, ideally a 4, to go with the 3. 9 we don't need. We could call that, but I'm not going to. Because it's not going to put us into Tempai. Red dragons are safe. That 2 is interesting. I will throw that white dragon out. No one needed it. Just immediately into the discard. And then that 7 dot we need to do something with that 7 dot. And that second 8. Alright, that'll do as a start, because that's 1, 3, 4. We need something around here. I don't like having this 2, because that risks, if I have to call Ricci, that's a 1. See, there's the 1. Let's get rid of the 8. Because then I can pivot off of the 1 if I need to. And I still have that other 5 as well I need to get rid of. Six, 7, 8. No. No. Ricci. That puts me... I'm going to call it.
Move from our challenger.
Because I think that leaves me, though, at a 1.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
Damn. I shouldn't have discarded the 5, but that's why you don't hold on to 5s for too long. That's my own mistake.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
That's okay. We're still in second, and we still... Yeah, we're still on East 2, so... Three, 4, 5. We can drop the West Wind. We can leave the East-South open. That 7 needs to go. These 4 tiles, we need to do something with these 4 tiles. These over here are all fine. This is 4 potential melds. Get rid of the 9. I might not hold on to that 5 for too long. We'll see what we get, because if I get a 6, I'll break. You know, I'll get rid of other things. We can keep the 5, but we'll definitely do that. We'll drop the dots, because those aren't really doing anything for us right now. If we get a south, we could also call that as well. We have 2. Likelihood of that getting dropped is pretty high. We could go for half flush. That's what we should do. Okay. So I need a south or a 7. Ideally, we get the 7, because then we go into a 2-sided weight rather than a 1-sided weight. Don't have any Dora. We have not been playing. I have not been playing to the Dora very well today. Half because I just don't get them. The other half is I just am so focused on other parts of the hand, I don't even think of it. Wrong 7. I wish I had discarded a bamboo shoot early, though, because then it doesn't look like I am building a half flush or a full flush. For those of you who are watching on Twitch, my stream is still working, right? It's just paused. It looks like it's broken on my end, but I'm assuming it's still running. Yeah, my memory's not going on. It's just Twitch being Twitch. That's what I thought. I may just need to go back to using Chrome instead of WaterFox.
How will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
Ugh. Yuck. The 3 is no good. That 5 is definitely no good either. Let's just try see if we can get rid of the 5 as quick as we can, but I'm not feeling happy about that. Okay, that could have been worse. It'd be great though if we could get into Tempai. Right now. Again, this 3, not amazing, but I would be very happy with somebody in Rishi if we were in Tempai. And now all we need is a 7. I'm gonna set auto call win on. We just need a 7. Yeah, we just need a 7 bamboo. This is likely safe because they have a 1, but not guaranteed. Suji only gets you so far, and it really only works on 2-sided weights. Or...
That could have been our tile. The scoundrel.
They're just cleaning up. I forget if I played Kaya before. Oh, less exciting hand. We're just gonna, I guess we're sitting in Hamba, though, for a little while. East Wind looks like it'll be a safe discard because I have number 3. we can take the 1, because that'll be a 1, 2, 3, and then we'd have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. We can do with the 9. Could go for a pure straight. That's possible right now. We drop the red dragon. We drop the 8 for that. Do something better than a 3-sided weight. Or, a 3 weight on that closed. 2, 4. There's a lot we could do with that. That's what I'm hearing out of it. I keep hearing this like scratching noise out of one of my ears, and it's my... I have a bunch of badges from conventions like Dragon Con and Gateway Fate, which you should go to Gateway Fate this year. Six, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. We do not need this 8.
That should have been our tile, the scoundrel.
But they needed the other 8. They really are just able to pull out these Yaku very well. I am very glad, though, that I am not the one who's feeling that wrath right now, knowing full well that I could. Alright, north is good. Keep the south. We have a 6, 7, 8. That's good. We have a 7, 8, 9. That's great. We have a 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is even better. So the 7, the 1, the 3 can go. Let's go with the 1 to start. That 5 is amazing. Get rid of the 3, I think, because the 4 will do what we need. Now, our pair right now is those 7s, which isn't great. The 7 we need to open up. We have 5. We could walk our... We're in a position where we could walk our way into Tanyao. The Dora is 7 shoots right now, so we do not want to get rid of those 7s. We'll take that for now. I'll probably drop it when I get a 6. Yeah, okay. Let's go aggressive again. That worked for us last time. We'll have to drop a 7. We'll probably need to drop one of these 7s. If we can get another 6, that would be so good. 6, 7, 8 with a 6, 7, 8. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Boy, this is going to be weird. Okay. If we get a 6 character, that's Nick's triple chai. Oh, but that's Dora. Yeah, okay, we'll eat that. 7, 8. How many of these are left? We dropped the 6. Alright, so this isn't amazing, because I need to get a 6 on the 7, 8. Now, what I probably, now that I'm thinking about this, I probably should have dropped the 7, 8 to not even risk it. But... that's 2, 3, 4 Dora. We need to keep a 7, ideally. I know I said we're not going to.
That should have been our tile, the scoundrel.
Did they just get double Rond? Yes, they did. Oh no. That could have been a whole lot worse. That's almost a pure straight start. We get rid of the 6 shoot, the green, and the red. North we don't need either. Don't need the 1. Parsnip is currently lamenting their choices of game mode. Alright, so if we go for a pure straight, we still need a 7 and a 2. I will throw a 4 into the mix here because we have that west wind pair already. I'm not gonna call pawn on that because I'm not close enough to the pure straight for me to be confident that we're gonna get it. If I was like 1 tile away, I would probably consider calling pawn on that. Alright, there's our 7, so now we just need a 2. Now we can start calling pawn and cheat. Like on this. And discard a 4. And now I just need a 2, and I have a pure straight. And no one's going to expect it, because it's a one-sided weight. You cannot even predict it. Now, the goal here is just, as always, don't deal in. Oh, I'm...
There it is. The hand is decided.
But we're free of Hamba. We're out of 5. We're out of 5 Hamba. Holy crap.
Letting them think they stand a chance. I like it.
Excuse me. Alright, we can finally move on with our lives. Green Dragon go. We can go back for another. Probably have some fun with straights here again. Get rid of that 5 real early. But now that I am dealer, I can start being very aggressive. You just got triple intuition on Sweet Butter. Oh, forgot to switch bait. Oh no. Didn't realize it. Yeah, I had done that. Because like I have done so many sea butterfly windows, and I could probably, if you look at my chart, or if I go back and look at my chart, I will probably, I could probably count all the windows that I did that, because it's usually the windows that I have 2 intuitions on rather than 3. What is this song? 2, 3, 4. Let's drop that 1 in for now. Double 9s is nice. Let's get rid of this 5 just to have it. This is a really weird hand. I think I've walked myself into a bit of a problem here. I would need a 6 to clean up that 7, 8, 9. I need a 5 pin. Actually, that's not a bad hand to go with. Discard the 4 again. At this point, Kaya is now going to start doing what I've been doing, which is be hyper aggressive. And because they just want the round to win, and they don't care who they get their points from. They just want to get their points from somebody. So Kaya is just going to go super aggressive now. Open their hand. Probably go for Tanyo. Probably go for small point hands. A 7 would be nice at this point. 6, 7. Ooh, that's pairs. 1, 2. We're going to pass on that, but we're going to keep it open because there's at least 1 7 and nobody needs it. So I'm going to not reach each so I don't burn points here. And I'm only waiting on 1 tile. I have a Yaku. I don't need much else from it except that 1 7, which isn't great. So I can swap that 7 for something else that has higher chance, like that 6. Call it a day. Black Rose Petal, that is perfectly understandable. That 6 is... Oh, you know, honestly, I probably should have kept that 7 as a safety net. Yeah, okay. Basically, if you don't... Oh, cool. If you don't understand what's going on, you have a pretty good understanding of how Mahjong works. Basically, you just want to look at everyone's hands. You want to look at everyone's hands, and you just want to make sure that they are building 4 sets of 3, either sequences like a 3, 4, 5 or a 5, 4, 6 of the same suit, or triplets, or like 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4 of the same suit. Hi, Nyan. Nyan, is that badge the one that NASA's handing out for watching the space launch? I heard that they were giving out rewards on Twitch, which I thought was really neat. Yes. I'm assuming it is. Because they were a friend of mine was like, yeah, they're handing out Twitch, like they have drops enabled on the NASA stream. I was watching on YouTube at my parents' house. My nephew, who's 2, had no idea what was going on, but I was like, nope, I have a background in astronomy. You're going to watch this, kid. And he actually did. It was really cute because he just kept saying rocket ship over and over again. And then ate his ice cream. It was a glorious launch. The funny thing was, and I'll have to go see if I can get a video, or go grab the video. Oh, we need a 6
How
here.
will the challenger recover from this, I wonder?
So that's what I was going to mention. We had a the camera, it's difficult to watch the rocket launches because you're so far away that even a little bit of an angle, that should be safe. Even a little bit of an angle can be like hard to track. I do not fault the cameraman for not being able to track that launch because it is. I know how difficult that can be. Ugh. That should be safe, with an emphasis on the should. But one of the smoothest videos that we've got of the launch was from Guy Fieri, the king of Flavortown, Guy Fieri. Let me see if I can find the tweet that my friend sent me. Yeah, 9's definitely safe. Where is it? Where are you? Yes, I was safe.
In our tile, the scoundrel.
Hey, not me. That's all that matters. That puts us in first place. We just have to win. We have to force a win on this one right now. Okay, yeah, it was Jesse Cox posted the tweet on this. Let me look at my hand here. Yeah. So here I'm posting Jesse's tweet. It is, and I quote, "First off, space rules and always has. Love this. But more importantly, I'm going to need you to click this tweet and look at the very bottom to see who shot this video. And it's Guy Fieri." Alright, red dragons are safe. I need to lock it here because people are already opening their hands and it is going nuts. I don't know if Garrett... As long as I don't discard into Garrett or Kea, I think we're okay. East is safe. I should probably have... I need to remember to hold on to some of these things for safety at the end. Yeah, I can get rid of greens. Someone can take those if they want them. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that 2. We have no like. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6. That's not good. We could also just go for pairs again. What's the safe discard here? 7s, 8s. Take the 7 to start. Spooky. But no, the absolute hilarity of seeing that it was Guy Fieri who gave us better footage than the NASA official stream is just very, very funny. Also, I think it's just wild that he was there. Nope. Not gonna go for that. Everyone's in this, like, mad dash to finish their hand. I feel like just calling pawn on some of these just to be cool like everybody else is. It's 4. You know, in theory, I could call pawn and then just leave everybody on, like, a one-sided wait. But, nah.
Oh, the horror! It was too painful to watch.
That's unfortunate, but that shouldn't be too bad. That shouldn't hurt us too much. Yeah.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
We still came in first place. Crap. He's east. Damn it. We need to end this very quickly now. If we get a 6, this wouldn't be a bad one. I would love to go see a rocket launch, but every time I have been down in Florida, I should say, we land in Orlando either hours after a rocket launch or we take off hours before and never see one. My wife has when she went down when she was younger. I thought you said that. Oh, you almost saw a rocket launch. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I misunderstood my wife last night. She almost saw a rocket launch, but it was sitting. It got scrubbed because it was just sitting on the pad. Yeah, it was on the pad. We didn't see it. That's only around in the States for the Mage. Yeah. Understandable. I have never eaten alligator when I was in Florida, no. Eight's gone. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we gotta get rid of the 8s. And then basically we can just start calling open on everything if I can get a 6. If I can get a 6, I call 6, 7, 8. And then we can just stay open, and we're good to go. That's it. Cool. So we go 6, 7, 8. We drop the 8. And now we just need to get a 4 or a 7 or a 5. Like that. Now, discarding a 5 is dangerous. It is second row.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
But if that's probably a big hand, so we probably came in.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
35, 70? That, yeah, beat me by 200.
A commendable effort.
Not bad.
You should be proud.
Not bad. Why am I not typing? They did a smart play. That was smart by just not calling Ricci. I was close too, like that was the other thing. I was super close. Speaking of East only, I'm only going to be queuing for Quick East now. Alright, let's do another one. Might be my last one of the night, we'll see how, because that one went for a while. As in other... I think you still have to hit a certain point, and I think it's 30,000. Okay, sorry. Talking to Mrs. Snacks. And oh yeah, and Loki the pet snack. The furry snack. She's been sleeping. It's been a little warm here. I think she's still getting used to the warmth. Plus, we had both of our air conditioners on, and we have wall-mounted units that are loud because they're old. And she does not like those. I thought that they stop at 30. I could be wrong. I don't remember for certain. Alright, so this hand, we could go for a half flush. Could go for a whole flush. Because really all we have that's working for us right now are these dots. So we could just start collecting dots and see what happens. We won't be able to play with Dora, that's fine. We're with a novice. We're with Garrett again. We know Garrett knows how to play. Garrett's good. Artemis has played 9th Q, that's still new though. And then Loon is a novice, so we have to watch out for the Chaos Gremlins. They probably already have a Yaku. Yeah, sure, let's go for the flush. At worst, we'll go for a full flush. Or at best, we'll go for a full flush. At worst, we'll go for a half. And we'll hold on to those tiles, the wind tiles. Just open with a bit of a big hand. I am going to be dealer at the end. Yes, get rid of that. Let somebody take it. Hopefully not a Ron on the first run. Okay. I'm fairly confident that they don't have... I'm fairly confident that unless they did not call Khan on that east, they don't have a Yaku. I am pretty certain they don't. I'm going to pass on that. But right now we're set up for a good half flush. We have a 4, 5, 6, a 3, and a 4, and a pair. So we need to either... We're going to want to get rid of a west or a north. I think I'm going to get rid of the north because I think that's what people will assume I will need. Because I am north. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what our hand ends up looking like. Could go for a full flush still, too, depending on, like, if we get, like, another 1. We could do a 3, 4, 5, actually. Because that would be 3, 4, 5. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. Because that would be a 3. I was looking at the 3, 4, 5, and then a 5, 6. We need 2 5s. So that if that was a 5, I would take it. But not that. Alright, so I'm pretty certain Loon doesn't have a Yaku, so I'm not too worried about him right now, unless he just sumos. Garrett might be playing simples, probably playing with dots like me. Artemis probably playing with numbers or a little bit of everything. Yes, we will call that. I will drop the north wind. Alright, so we have a 4, 5, 6, and a 3 and a 4. I need a 2. Conversely, if I get a 2, I can drop the west wind and we go for a full flush, which is 5. Han. Or is it 5 Han? No, it's 5 Han closed, 3 Han open? I think. 4, 5, 6. No. No. That's what we want right there. Take the 2, 3, 4. How many 1s are left? There's still 2 1s left. Let's go for the full flush.
The smallest fish is the tiny goby which lives in the Philippines. It grows no longer than half an inch.
I don't think we've had that fact ever. I haven't heard. I don't remember hearing that one even during the charity event. Which, reminder, there is going to be a charity event again on April 18th. I'll be doing a afternoon charity event. I think it'll probably be from like 1 or like noon or 1 o'clock.
There it is. The hand
To
is decided.
8 p.m. or so Eastern time.
You certainly made your mark this round. Keep it
Cool.
up.
5 hand open. So we'll be playing a bunch of not Final Fantasy 14 games, but what we will be doing is I'm trying my best to get ones that have fishing in them. So Cast and Chill for sure we'll be playing. What were some of the other ones on my list? There's a handful. But you'll be able to look it out. I was working on the card for it today. I will probably have that out mid next week. That's the first thing I will do when I get back home from a trip that I'm going on this weekend. All right, so we have a South, we have a 5-6, that's good. An 8-9, that's okay. 3-5, fine. Pair of 5s, those are not leaving our hand. Fruity, I saw the TikTok of the 100 guard today, and I instantly thought of you. I have seen that so many times, and I can very much relate to the guy, because there have been times when I go fishing. I don't use a cast net. I don't know what the laws are around here and the regulations, so I don't do them. I don't even own a cast net, and there's no good place for me to use a cast net, nor a need to. I don't need any fresh bait. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh, yeah, get rid of that. So I've never actually used a cast net. I would love to, though, one day. But I can relate to the, boy, I hope I didn't snag this thing. Oops, I did snag this thing. And it's going to take me forever to finally clean up. But instead of 100 gar, it's usually a, like, 50-pound tree trunk. Alright, you almost certainly are building all simples, so getting rid of my edges are fine. Eight. I'm gonna hold off on, but I'm pretty confident that the 9 it will be fine. 8 probably would be okay.
It was too painful to watch.
Oh, you weren't going for all simples. Interesting.
Our
You weren't going
challenger
for
is
a
down,
lot,
but not out.
Alright, 1, 2, good. 5, 6, great. 3, 3, 5, 5. That's 7, 9 is man. We could go for. We can drop the 6, 9 in the south, I think. We'll replace the south with the west just in case. But I have pulled up tree trunks. I don't use, when I'm spin casting, I don't use very heavy line. I thought about getting braid this year. I don't think I will because I still have like about 200 yards of 8-pound test left. Monofilament, so I'll probably use that this year. It's probably what I'll throw on my spinner rods. So usually when I snag a tree trunk, it means that I've lost my lure. Very rarely do I get a lure back if I snag onto something like that. Which is annoying because what I use is it's a spoon lure by Acme. Yeah, it's called like Bait Caster or something, or Cast Master or something like that. But if you know what the versatile lure looks like, that's basically what I use. And it like literally it catches everything. I have caught perch, bluegill, trout, bass, carp, not carp, crappie, catfish. I've had catfish bite. I've never actually successfully reeled in a catfish. Yes. I'm gonna get rid of that 1 and the 2, I've decided. Now I did panic click the wrong 5, but we'll figure that out in a minute. We had a really good hand, and we lost by 200 points. We came out of first place in the last hand by 200 points. But it was really good. I had a couple good pivots. I had a good comeback on my final hand as a dealer. And One Winged Moogle got absolutely obliterated. Do I want to wait on a 5? Even though there's 2 left and likely being used? No. I think I'm going to get rid of that, and then I'll wait on a 6-7. Ha 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 ha.
That should have been our tile, the scoundrel.
That's fine. But this year, next... Yeah, it didn't matter. Next week, trout season opens up in my area, and I am going to, for the first time since I started fishing a few years ago, I've decided that I'm going to go fly fishing on opening day. Usually I go out with a spinner and my spin caster, or and then use like that lure I was just talking about, basically a versatile lure, and just try and catch trout that way. And I was very successful with that last year. But if you remember, a couple weeks ago, I posted a video of my first fly fishing trout catch. That was right before, you know, quite literally, it was right before the window closed. Because the day that I caught that on the day before all the state stocked waters were closed, and I couldn't legally fish. So yeah, technically that was like a last cast of the window, if we want to think about it in 14 terms. But that was a ton of fun. Like, it was a ton of fun to fly fish. My mom told me stories about how my grandfather would only fly fish. He only had flies. I still use some of his flies and some of the ones that she has tied. And I have decided that I'm going to go fly fish for this year. I got a bunch of flies from my brother-in-law. I had a bunch from my mother-in-law. Like, I'm very easy to get gifts for at Christmas now, because it's like, here's flies from, for fly fishing, and I'll be like, perfect, exactly what I need. So actually, the trout that I caught was on my was on a fly that my brother-in-law got me for Christmas. A little nymph somewhere. Oh shoot. Okay, how's this gonna work? I mean, we're kind of saved. I was originally intending to go for all simples, and I still can at this rate. But if I get a south, if someone discards a south, of which they would have to, because they don't have to, I guess, of which is likely because there's only one left unaccounted for. South gets me slightly more east. No. We keep the south because it's Dora. I completely forgot that. I'm glad I looked. Okay, cool. Now we're good. And just hope that we make it to the end here, and hope that we get a actual hand. See, I tried learning fly fishing when I was in Boy Scouts, so I always got snagged on something. It is very difficult.
The horror It was
to
too
fly fish.
painful to watch.
Well, I don't want to say difficult. It has a technique to it. Oh boy.
Our challenger is down, but not out.
There's our first place. But we are dealer. Fly fishing is very finicky, but I would not necessarily say that it is difficult. It does require a lot of practice, and it requires a lot of space to practice. When I got my first fly rod from my mom for a birthday gift, I literally just spooled it up and just started practicing in the backyard with a weight on instead of a fly, and it is incredibly difficult to kind of hit your target. But after a while, you kind of figure out what works for you and what doesn't. There is a correct way of doing a fly cast, which is like an overhand cast. I'm doing this. I'm mimicking it in real life right now. None of you can see this because I don't have a camera or anything. But there is technically a proper way of doing it. I don't do that very often. I find it actually easier. Instead of keeping my arm vertical to cast, I actually do a side cast. Partially because where I fish, I have a lot of overhead branches that I would get stuck in, so I have to cast sideways because I have a wide river, so it makes it a whole lot easier. Plus, for me, it's a little bit more comfortable. I'm usually a little bit more accurate when I do a side cast. It isn't the correct way to do it. It's not like the proper technique. Well, there is fly casting side casts. I should make that clear. But what I was taught was the vertical one, and that's one that everyone's taught when they start, and that's a really hard one to do. Okay. This is rough. I will take a second if I get one. Okay, I'm going to do something potentially silly. I could go for mixed triple chai, which is a Yaku. But it would be relatively... I don't expect to get it. But we haven't had a lot of 3s discarded yet. It's weird. But this hand looks a little bit better than it did a few discards ago. And yes, the revel will begin. 6, 7, 8. I don't like getting rid of 5s. Let's get rid of a 6. Because you probably don't need it if you're going for sequences. Yeah. Plus we want to keep that 6 because it's a Dora, plus the 1 is also a Dora, so we want to keep that as well. Now the thing is, if I get a 3 character, or a 3 dot, or a 3 bamboo, those are like the 3 tiles I need. 1, 2, 3, yeah, like those would be the 3 tiles that I want. Scary. And Garrett right now is just basically, I'm going to end this. He has a Yaku. It is likely white dragons. I'm going to go for it. I don't feel bad about having to discard a 5 dot. Oh, he could have west. No, he doesn't have west because they're right here. Green dragons he doesn't have unless he's picked up the 3 naturally. So white dragons are the only one that are unaccounted for, and I bet you he has them. Because he doesn't have east. Oh boy. Cool. Alright, good. Good, that 5 is safe. Oh good, it was also just discarded. Good, good, good. That means if we can get a 3, then we're good. But I'm pretty certain Garrett has white dragons right now. How many he has, I don't know, but I'm not going to discard them. Like I am not discarding white dragons. If I get them, I will fold my hand and I will take second place. The 9 should be safe. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We can't call pawn on this because our 5s are our pairs. The 7s haven't been discarded yet, but I believe that they're going to be safe. We'll get rid of that 7 for now. 2 should also be safe. 7 is a maybe, but
Oh, goodness gracious me.
I was thinking that the 2 or the 7 would be it, but I don't. I think both of those were rough.
Oh, even I felt that one. But our
We'll still
challenger's
stay.
still standing.
Ah, we
This
dipped
was
to the third.
Metam,
That's unfortunate.
reporting live from the Mahjong table. Thank you.
By
and
just 800
good night.
points. Oh well. Okay, I think that's gonna be the last game of the night. Is there like fish that are up? Do you guys want to go see Guild Wars 1 really quick? And GG. Let's see, Yeah, Guild Wars 1 is a bit weird. I would have to boot that up too. You know, since I don't want to do any more, we'll do like 10 minutes because we were talking about it and I want to show it off really quick. Of Guild Wars 1. So stay with me. If you're here for the Mahjong, Mahjong is now ending, but I will ask if you want to stick around for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can see one of my, probably one of the best MMOs ever made. So please give me a moment. Let me make sure that I have actually done everything that I need. I am still here. I will return back to Crystal in a second. I'll do that after this. It might be loud for a second, but I have to also add the thing for it. Okay, so here's the bonus treat for everybody at the end, is that we're gonna play a little bit of Guild Wars. Oh, cool. There's a Pantheon bonus right now going on, too. Okay, 1 second. Let me add this to the OBS. Let me see if this works. Capture a specific window. Do you work? You do, sort of. Okay, you can't see it fully. Got it. I see how that works. Give me a second, because it's the wrong thing. I need to set up this so that it does the correct things correctly, because that makes sense. There we go. Okay, so welcome to Guild Wars 1. This was my World of Warcraft in high school because we couldn't afford to buy a World of Warcraft subscription as much as all my friends were playing it. So I played Guild Wars instead because the way that it worked was you would buy the game and that was it. There's no subscription. You paid, at the time it was like $30. And you'd get the entire game for free and all the updates, and then an expansion would come out and you buy that and do the same thing. So the way that this game works it's a huge map too, because this is just a small map. There was a bunch of other stuff too. What can I show off really quick? The game had there was 3 expansions off the base game. So the base game was Lion's Arch, is the hub city, but it was called Prophecies, and this was the entire map. If you play Guild Wars 2, this looks probably really familiar. This would be Ore. Crystal Desert's still there. This is all filled in with water, but Thunderhead Keep was a zone, and it is actually a mission somewhere around here. Yeah, right there. Thunderhead Keep is a mission. So if you play Guild Wars 2, a lot of this is going to be really familiar to you. Like Ice Flow. Did I not fully map out Ice Flow? I did not. Draknar's Forge. This whole area. This Draknar's Forge is in Secrets of the Obscure. All this area. Lornar's Pass, you would be familiar with. Lion's Arch. This is the original Lion's Arch. Lion's Arch, there's been about 3 versions of Lion's Arch. This was the first one. Sparkfly Swamp is... well, actually, it doesn't exist yet. Here. In Guild Wars 1, I think it was around here, but it's actually right here. This would be all of Ore before it was brought back up to the surface in Guild Wars 2. And then the Bloodstone Fen is right here. So all of the whole Bloodstone area is right here. Where was Ventari? So if you played as a Sylvari, you know about, in Guild Wars 2, you know about Ventari. Ventari was like the creator of the Sylvari and stuff like that. The original Sylvari are somewhere around here, and I can't remember which zone that they were in. I was doing hard mode Vanquishing, and I stumbled upon it. Don't think it was Silverwood. Wasn't Mamoon Lagoon. Where was it? It's one of these. But anyways, you have like the Henjin Denravi. That's also in Guild Wars 2. I think the Henjin Denravi is what is now Caledon. It's basically a 1-to-1 map. This, if you know Guild Wars 2, this is Ratasum, the first version. So you can kind of see the whole thing that Asura love cubes and stacking cubes on top of each other, so you can kind of see the architecture. But this was the original Ratasum. I think if I remember correctly, is it this guy? Are you the one who sells glasses? Yeah, you can buy glasses. They didn't have glamours or anything. You had to just buy the gear that you wanted. And all that fun stuff. But Arbor Bay I don't think is in Guild Wars 2. Sanctum K is, but not really. I think it got sunk. Divinity Coast is where Divinity's Reach now is. So it sucked up the Temple of Ages, which is where you go into like the Fissure of Woe and the Underworld, which is not in Guild Wars 2 yet. They don't have missions for those. Officially, not in the same setup. And then all of this stuff up here, you actually never touch. So Janthier, the wilds of Janthier, none of this area is touched. But we do have the Char homelands right around... Let me see, actually, let me get out of... Go to Doomlord's Shrine really quick. If you played Guild Wars 2, you would also know about all the dragons. That was kind of the whole big thing of Guild Wars, was all of those dragons. Let me add my ritualist. In Guild Wars 1, we didn't have dragons. Sort of. They weren't awake yet. So what we did have, though, was the Siege Devourers. We did have where they were sleeping. So let me just play. So this is kind of how the combat worked too. It was very slow paced compared to Guild Wars 2, but this was also like more traditional in how you would be playing like a game back in the day. I played Ritualist. They just got added in the specialization for Ritualist got added in Visions of Eternity for Necromancer, unfortunately. But if you play Revenant, it's basically the same thing. We'll take on the Char here really quick. I'm in normal mode right now too, so everything's easy. Yeah, see, the blue spirits are those are the good spirits. I don't like the Necromancer ones very much. Do I have a lockpick on me? Also, inventory is a pain in the butt in this game. I will not deny that. I do have a lockpick. Cool. But, so we didn't have any dragons to fight except Glint. But if you look in the distance, here over on the right, this is Gralcatorix. This is the original... This was like the first time that we really saw a dragon show up in the game, and we were like, hey, that's totally a dragon. And they were like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And they were being really coy about it.
Hello, traveler.
What are you selling? Nothing good. So this is Kralkatorix. He doesn't stay here for very long. Between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, he wakes up, and this whole area becomes the Searing, and then he eventually lands like right around here-ish, I think is the brand. Here's the Tomb of the Primeval Kings. This is all of the Path of Fire. So here's where you start, Seeker's Passage. Here's Amun Oasis, except before it got built up, Augury Rock, Skyward Reach, the bay you come in on. All of this is still down here as well. But they weren't areas. A lot of these were missions. So you had to complete the missions to do stuff, and that's Dragon's Lair is where you do Glint, and then Tomb of the Primeval Kings. But you have Kralkatorix was here, and then... And this is Guild Wars 1 Reforged. You can buy it on Steam. It's getting updates now for the first time in decades. But if I swing out here into Draknar, or Drakkar Lake, if you played the Icebrood Saga, sorry, but this area is Drakkar Lake. Like this whole area here, Norhart Domains plus Drakkar Lake. Actually, I think it's probably, yeah, right here. This whole section here. Can I draw on the map in here? I can't draw on this map. Actually, I have to fight some of the guys here because they're kind of powerful. This area is Bajora Marches. If you played that in the Icebrood Saga, this whole area is Bajora Marches. This is the barrier that you have to go through in that part of the story, and then this is the Drakkar Lake fight. This guy was later added, but there was, if you look at the map, it's hard to tell from here. Let me grab the other one. You can kind of see there's something that looks like a dragon in there. Under the lake. It didn't originally look like that. It kind of looked like that. And back in like the late 2000s, people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's a dragon. That's so cool. I wonder what it means." And all the fan forums were like nerding out. So this was later added once they finally knew what Drakkar would look like, but that is not actually Jormag. That is Drakkar. Jormag isn't in this game right now. Jormag would have been up here. You do see Jormag, I think, in the Sepulchre or Frostmaw, one of the two. You do get a hint of that. But this is Drakkar, who you end up fighting. There's Gunner's Hold, Eye of the North. This is probably the most familiar looking thing. This has not changed. This is exactly the same, except there's not a giant Asura portal in the way. But this is the Eye of the North. This was the starting point for the Eye of the North expansion, which was the first expansion, but the third game in the Guild Wars series. And then the Hall of Monuments, which if you play Guild Wars 2, you know that if you do Guild Wars 1, you can add stuff to your Hall of Monuments, and this is what it looks like. So you can see all the minis that I've collected, all of these miniatures, of which I even still have like a bunch of them on one of my mules. Yeah, I don't have any on me. Wait, hold on. I should have one on me. I have at least one on me. Yeah, mini Zuhanaku from the Deep, because I love the Jade. These are all your heroes that I've unlocked. These are various achievements that I have done. Urgaz Warren in the Deep are the elite dungeons that I'm not going to do, but these are all like missions that I've done like in Alona and Cantha, various armors that you get. And if you, based on how full your Hall of Monuments is, and you can still do this right now, but based on how full your Hall of Monuments is, you got rewards in Guild Wars 2, and then my pitiful destroyer weapons. But the destroyer weapons in this game were very, very difficult to come by, at least at the time. And then it wasn't fully open world. It was instance, so like Ascalon has a bunch of different stuff. You'll notice this Ascalon is far less green than the old Ascalon, or the new Ascalon, because it's like 100 years it's been able to go through. This one's really sad and pitiful. But let's see the other one. So you have Kamadan. 400, thank you. This is Kamadan, which is Pawlajokan Kadan in Guild Wars 2. I didn't do much, but this is Istani. That's the basic island. All of Alona is here. Sunspear Sanctuary, all of that. The Desolation. The one difference is instead of it being its own map in Guild Wars 2, it's just continuing down. So it starts up. It would just be one big continuous map. So Alona is like literally up at the north here. But Desolation, still the same. Domain of Anguish is here, but I don't think they do anything with that in Guild Wars 2. At least not as the same way that they did here. And then my personal favorite, factions. This is Cantha. This is probably the biggest change. It was Wajun Bazaar is where the new Cantha is, or like somewhere around here, like between the Marketplace, Book Byway, and Kining Center. This is where New Cantha was built. They have a whole quest line that in this game that talks about what happened to Cantha before Guild Wars 2. It's like it's a very long, very good quest line. I haven't done it yet. But you can get a whole idea. So this is Cantha, or this is Kining. And then you have the Petrified Forest, Old Arborstone, which was actually a mission here in the Ultram Ruins. And then you have the Jade Sea, which is, at this point, still Jade. The cool thing about factions, too, is that they had the barrier so that the Kurziks and the Luxons were fighting each other, and based on how well they did in the Zosivros channel and the Ultram Ruins missions. No, sorry. Fort Aspenwood, Ultram Ruins, Zosivros, Jade Quarry, and there was one other one I can't remember. Oros Mines, that was it, and Amat's Basin. Depending on how well you did in those missions would move things around, and so this barrier here could be like over here, and certain guilds, as you'll notice, like they have a guild emblem here. This is Blood God's Wrath 2 currently owns it. You gain bonuses if you're in the guild that's in the city. So guilds could own cities in Cantha. They don't have that in Guild Wars 2. They don't have any resemblance of this in Guild Wars 2. Yep, Harvest Temple. Was an outpost with our good friend Kunavang. You can farm here too, if you want. And then they have a mission for each side. It was really cool in Guild Wars 1, you actually had to pick a faction, and then you did that whole side until you hit Harvest Temple, and then you could go back and do the other ones. But you had to, it was kind of like going to Kalusia or going to Amarang in Shadowbringers. You had to pick a side, and you stuck with that side until you go through it, and then you pick a faction and go for it, and that's all that is. Anyways. And then Xingjia, the basic starter island. They all had tutorial islands. The cool thing, too, that Guild Wars 1 has that Guild Wars 2 didn't have, and this is a crime, is vanquishing. You'll notice that all of these have gold titles around their names. That is because I went into that zone in hard mode with my party, and I've basically slaughtered every enemy in the zone. Each one of these was like 2 or 3 hours worth of time to do. And there was like 60 zones or something, or 30 zones or something like that, I forget. But you clear that. It's called vanquishing. It was probably one of the most interesting things about Guild Wars 1, outside of like the skill stuff. But yeah, highly recommend giving this game a shot if you are interested. The last other thing where most of the updates are being added is in pre-searing. So I was a nerd and I got max level in the tutorial, but they've added a dungeon or something. I don't know. It's up in here. They've added a new dungeon and a zone. I haven't fully figured out what exactly is going on with this area. But this is weird because the tutorial for Prophecies starts you about 4 or 5 years before the story of the main game. And what you do is you play through you kind of get told the story of the old Ascalon. You remember you saw that like just a little while ago. It was gray and dingy. Here it's nice and pretty. And right before the Char decided to attack. And so what we can do, and I don't remember how this works now, because they just changed it, but you can go up north. I have to finish leveling my pet. This was really weird, is that they have a, this whole thing is the tutorial zone, by the way. There is no, like, it wasn't like, a guided quest. I mean, there was a guided quest, but it wasn't like they just, like in Final Fantasy XIV, where it's like you pick a starting city and go, and they're like, okay, cool, talk to the guy. This one is like you actually had like a zone you could play in, and people stay here for hours. I think this guy is... Yeah, this guy, I've played this guy for 250 hours. And you can see how many months I've been playing too. I'm almost at 20 years on this character. Ah, there you are. So beforehand, if you wanted to go north into the Charlands, you had to bring another player to go open a lever up at the top. Now, are you the one? I think you are. Find your way north or Viking Square. Okay. So you actually had to you had to bring a friend with you. And this was lucrative in Guild Wars 1. You had to bring a friend to run all the way up here, open this lever, use the lever, which opens the doors, which allows them to go through, because if I start going down now, it will close by the time I get down there. You watch it, it'll close. It was really like an interesting way of getting people to stay. Now, actually, did they change it? Because they've been making changes. Okay, the gates stay open. That's cool. Beforehand, you had to they would stay open. They've made it a little bit easier now to get up north. Now, I know that there's a new city up here too. So if you played Guild Wars 2, this would look kind of familiar as well. See, I don't know Shiro's debacle placement. Is it before, inside the events of 1? Is it before 1, inside the events of 1? Or between 1 and 2? I think it was... I think Shiro and the Jade Sea is before 1. I think it's before Prophecies. I need to go to Pike Square, which is right there. But I don't remember that specifically. But if you like older MMOs, highly recommend checking out Guild Wars 1. It looks great still for how old it is. The gameplay is also very interesting in my opinion. That's Pike Square over there. Let's go to Pike Square. This is a whole new zone. They've been making content updates, and this is like the first time in over a decade they've gotten proper like new content updates, and apparently there's a new dungeon somewhere that I'm not going to check out tonight because I need to go to bed. But they have done like this whole, like there's a whole new outpost. I think it's right here, but I don't see a zone marker for it. Maybe I need to go finish the other thing because this is Pike Square. Maybe it's not. I'll have to figure that out later. But there's a whole lot of stuff that they've been adding, and there's a new company called 2 Weeks that's now doing Guild Wars 1 development. They've added an Iron Man mode. They've added a hardcore mode. They've also added, what else? Like an ultra hardcore mode? Something like that. They've added a couple of modes. They've added a new dungeon. I don't think they're talking about an expansion, but basically this is the equivalent of the rebirth that Final Fantasy XI is getting right now. That's what is happening right now with Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1. Those are crap for me. Now, I am max level, so all of these guys who are like level 3 and 4 are nothing. You can even go Frenzy and just attack twice as much. I will take the gold, though. Another fun thing, too, about this is that the currency is gold, and it's like, it's, you know, platinum is 1,000 gold. But what's interesting too is that there is a cap on the amount of gold that you can have, and what most people will do is I have to walk you back. Okay. What most people will do now is that they convert their gold into something called ectoplasm, which is like a fixed price material. Trying to think of what the 14 equivalent of that would be. You know the like the salvage that you get from submarines? That's it. That's what you would use. Yeah, people use ectos. So there's two things actually. Because the economy got so broad and people got so wealthy, they had to stop using ectos, and now they also use arm braces, which are a thing from the Domain of Anguish. You have to collect a bunch of gems, like Stygian gems, and then you convert it to an arm brace, which gives you the ability to get like a tormented weapon and all this other stuff. Are you gonna try and fight them? Yes, you are. Yeah, so it's very fun and very interesting. On like the economy and stuff, because it's a 20-year-old economy. It's actually not terrible to get gold nowadays. Like, I have a bunch of farms, but the main thing too about this is the skill system. So right now you see I'm a ranger warrior. My ritualist was ritualist assassin, I think. And I can change that whenever I want. I can ritualist something else, and then I can use whatever the skills are. And so I can start mixing things together. Alright, turn to gate guard. But because of this, they have some really weird skills. Alright, that should just stay open permanently now. So if I log out and go back to you... See if I can do this really quick before I forget. Is it saying in checkos? Yes. So the last thing that I'll do, because this is just very silly, is the build system with skills. So this is like a damage build. It just lets me spam a bunch of spirits. That's great. What I can do I have... Make sure I have the right... I do. I have to remember what my things are. So one of the fun things that you could do is, if I was a ritualist monk, like I am now, I can load up my 110 writ, bring a couple of extra skills here. I need you, and I want shield of absorption. Where are you? These are all the skills that you can get. Like, look how many skills there are. That you have options to do. I'll set myself to hard mode, and then I need you. So you have like these buffs that you can apply on you. Your only stuff, like the only resources you managed were health and mana. It's not like Guild Wars 1 where you had like extra stuff, or Final Fantasy 14 where you have whatever it is, like extra resources like Angler's Art stacks or Reaper Gauge or red or black and white mana. You just have to deal with health and mana. But because of some of the really silly skills that you get, you can make some really dumb builds. So you'll notice that I am now currently pulling a whole lot of these monsters, and I only have 115 health. That is because some of these skills reduce the amount of damage that you actually take. Like this one means that I can only take... I died because I was too slow. I only take 10% of my 10% of my health as damage, which means if I'm really low health, I don't take... I was using the wrong skill there, I think. I don't take more than like 10 damage. Well, if I have a skill that blocks 10 damage worth of things, I take no damage, and I can now just go ahead and pull a million things and just farm them relatively easily. It's been a few weeks since I've done this, so I'm still a little rusty. So there's actually builds where to be tanky, you actually have to lower your health. In this game, tanks are not warriors. They are not beefy, heavy armor classes. They are the casters, the rogues, the assassins, because they have all these magic skills that allow them to reduce the amount of incoming damage that they're taking, and lets them just do really silly stuff. So you can see all the damage numbers over there. If I don't die again because I'm slow. If you saw all those damage numbers, I think there's like 20 of those guys in hard mode, and I'm able to just tank them all when I'm actually paying attention. And then I get broken because of the red shrines. Anyways, Guild Wars 1, it's a ton of fun. I would love to stream this a bit more often. I probably won't anytime soon, at least not for another month or two, because FanFest 7.5, Ocean Fishing Legends, blah blah blah. But maybe over the summer I'll do a couple of streams on it. But it's a fun game. This is probably one of the best MMOs ever made, in my opinion. And you can get it on Steam. It's really cheap. And you get all the expansions. It has a really good story. It has a really, really good soundtrack, too. I should probably have put that on. It has a really, 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 really good soundtrack. By Jeremy Soul, which is sometimes a bad thing for some people, but it's also pretty good. But anyways, it does go on sale pretty often. I think right now it might be on sale. Let me look. But you can get it on Steam. You can also get it on ArenaNet. If you have a Guild Wars 2 account, you can buy it through that as well. Guild Wars Reforged is currently on sale for $11.99 right now. I highly recommend picking it up and just starting to play through it a little bit. It's a ton of fun. You can do some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff with your builds. If you're a fan of games like Diablo or Path of Exile or Last Epoch, you are going to love this game. Anyways, it's after 10 o'clock, and I have to go drive tomorrow. So, thank you for that little side distraction. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and again, indulging me on that, like, completely side tangent thing there, because I love Guild Wars 1. But anyways, my name is Fruity Snacks. If you are watching this because I was playing Guild Wars 1, hello, I don't usually do that. I actually am a Final Fantasy XIV player. I am known for fishing content, and Mahjong now, apparently. Anyways, you can follow me on all of these places. On YouTube at Fruity Snacks, on Blue Sky and Twitter as Fisher Fruity, and here on Twitch, or not here on Twitch if you're on YouTube. I stream usually Mondays and Thursdays, and maybe a day or two in between just for the fun of it, depending on how I'm feeling. My next stream will most likely be Monday. It might get pushed to Tuesday depending on how my trip goes this weekend, how I'm feeling. We will probably be doing Mahjong again on Monday. There will be a fish train, a learn to big fish train session, I think 3 or 4, on Thursday, April 9th. That'll be on Halicarnassus, so keep an eye out for that. Also on April 18th, we will be doing a charity event for Cool Earth. Please keep an eye out for the info on that starting next week as well. Until then, if you are on YouTube, thank you for watching.